Yo, what is up all? How you doing today? It is me, Just Rob Tech, doing a first test of the FiFine K688. This is a dynamic microphone, very reminiscent of the Shure SM7B. This is an XLR and USB microphone. I am currently using XLR, as you can see on video. But this is the FiFine K688. This is a 2024 revision, so the capsule is a bit further seated back than it was at launch, as the capsule was literally right up in the grill. But this is the K688, and it sounds alright. So what you're listening to right now is the K688, completely unfiltered, straight out of the box. I've got my gain on my audio interface to about 75%, or 3 o'clock if we were using a clock. This is the microphone completely untreated in an untreated room as usual. Basically, I have just a bed, my gaming chair, table, my chair, my carpet, wardrobes. That is about it as far as room treatment goes. This is the microphone straight out of the box with no alterations in post. How do you think the microphone sounds? I think it sounds alright. I picked this up for £34.99 on eBay, brand new, and I was pleasantly surprised to see that it was the 2024 revision, as the launch model had the, I don't know if you can see it on camera, I don't think it will, but, oh, you can do, yeah. The launch model had the capsule literally pressed right up against the grill, and as you can see, if you just make it out, it is slightly seated back to handle plosives better. The windsock, it feels cheap, but you know, for £34 I'm not too complaining. You could always pick up another windsock if you weren't happy with the quality, but I think it gets the job done. Here's how the microphone sounds completely untreated. We'll do some quick plosive tests. So Paul picked up Peter from the post office. They popped to the pub, they bought some pints, and they popped home and had themselves some pancakes. We'll do a quick test with the proximity. So we'll tap the microphone. We'll tap the shock mount. And then we'll finally touch the boom arm. And that is the proximity effect and the plosive test done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to quickly switch to what the microphone will sound like with all my filters on. So here's how the microphone sounds with all my filters engaged. As always, I'll list my filters. I have a noise suppression, a gain booster, which is boosting at 6.90 dB. I've got a 3-band equalizer. My high is set to 0.10 dB. My mids are set to minus 0.30 dB, and my lows are set to minus 120 dB. My expander, I've got a compressor, I've got some VST plugins, and I have a limiter which is set to a threshold of minus 640 dB and a release of 39 milliseconds. So here's how the microphone sounds with my my stream ready, like YouTube video ready filters that I use. Here's how the microphone sounds. What do you think? Let me know. But here's how the K688 sounds with some filters. And here's how the microphone is sounding with a USB cable. This is running through the actual PC itself via USB. Here's how the microphone sounds. This is the FiFine K688 via USB. And on the bottom of the microphone, we have a microphone. Yep, so we got the, we're now unmuted, but it does have a mute feature on this if you're using USB. So how does this sound compared to an XLR cable? You be the judge. Does it sound better? I'm going to listen to it back, and then what I'm going to do is come back and do my final thoughts. So, what do you reckon? I think for £34.99, I think it's excellent. I think it's really, really good. And this would definitely get you up and running if you were starting to think about live streaming. Maybe you want to make a podcast on YouTube and you don't really have enough money to get something very expensive. I think for the price, very good. Like, there is a few drawbacks I don't like about this. There's a very sensitive front capsule, even with the revision where they lowered the capsule back a bit so it wasn't pressed right up against the grill. It's still very sensitive, so I would definitely think about mic placement. I would personally have it away from my face so that it's still picked up, but obviously if you're speaking like this, you know you're not directly talking into the microphone, you're talking almost through it, and it will just pick up the side, so it should handle plosives a bit better that way. The other side of it is I weren't really too impressed with the USB sound. That's something I could maybe fix. Maybe I had the gain dial up a bit too much, but I kind of think XLR, I'm an XLR person. I'm always going to be an XLR person. I quite like the ability to have this connected via USB if I'm using like on my phone or if I'm using a camera. I do like that functionality, whereas as far as using it on a PC, I'm quite happy to have an audio interface take care of most of the issues. But I like that it's there. I think that's where the market's going now. It's giving you all the options, whereas before it was like you either bought a XLR microphone or you bought a USB microphone, whereas now most of these brands like FiFine, like Mayano, they're giving you the choice. You can either have an audio interface or you can just plug it directly into your PC and configure it that way. The other drawback, I thought, it's a bit light. It's very light, like plasticky. That's good if you've got like a really cheap boom arm. It's not going to weigh it down. It works particularly well on the audio interface. It's also, I've got the gain set to about 3 o'clock, so not too bad as far as like gain. This is a dynamic microphone. This is quite a gain hungry one, but it should work for most audio interfaces, I would imagine. Plus you can always tinker around in OBS and edit the gain on there. But this is my first sort of look and a review, I guess, of the K688. This is the 2024 revision. Yeah, pretty impressed. Would I use it as my daily driver? Probably not, but I think it's good to have as a backup. I think I like the look. I like the fact that it comes with a shot mount already installed. Most of it is plastic. I'll say the windsock is a bit easy to take off, but that's not too much of a problem. FiFine do make very good products, and I'm quite happy with this. So yeah, without further ado, this has been the review of the FiFine K688 by me. So thank you very much for watching, folks, and I'll see you soon.